So, hi, Madina. Thanks for being with me today. We are trying to share some points of view here, different perspective on what's going on in Ukraine. So, basically, we will have a look on the road that brought this war and the reaction the world had and what may comes next. So, first of all, do you want to say a few words about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for inviting me. So basically, I'm a student. I will finish my bachelor degree in international relations this year. I can't qualify myself as an expert, but I'm a person who really love the news and who really want to learn something new. So yeah, I just see all of this situation, and I'm very happy that you invited me so I can share my opinion as a person from post-Soviet country. So, anyways,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
I would like this to be like I don't know if that's politically correct to say, but I'd like a meeting between East and West in a way, even though I mean I'm not American and you are not Russian, but we are still yeah in the scene in the Cold War we were in different sides, yeah. But so what do you think of this war? Just to having a little introduction.
I think it's one big schizophrenia because nobody expected war, nobody wanted it, and nobody wants what is the goal of the war. I mean, we can analyze like the past two wars, like the First World War and the Second World War, and we can see that they have a goal. I mean, the Germany wanted to expand their territory, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but this one war is actually don't have any goals, and even economically and politically is just a big fail. For this country.
What do you think about the what Putin said and kept on saying for years from 2014 actually about this coup d'état that happened in Ukraine, the revolution of dignity. They said, but Putin is not agreeing. So what do you think about this rhetoric that is saying going on about fascists and Nazis also when he just he just said that so a couple of days ago. What do you think about this rhetoric?
That's a real madness because how I understand from the speech of the Putin, he said that historically the Ukraine was a part of Russia by their culture and by their politics, but after the Soviet Union uh, just was cancelled, I don't know, delayed, hard to say, right? But yeah, after the 1991, when all of the countries get their independence in the post-Soviet Union,
Yeah.
so the Russia started to say that Ukraine is our brother. We have a deep root. We should be together. Yes, we should have our own politics against the USA, against the West countries, and yeah, but Ukraine was just like, no, we want to be the part of NATO. We want to be part of West because we want to be our democracy well better than Russia. But Russia just like, no, you can't. And I don't know, just kind of like madness because it looks like the Ukraine wanted to be the part of the West country. And because
Yeah.
of the rules that they have now about all of these reforms, I see they have a very good future, maybe in the 10 years, maybe in the 15 years, who knows. But the fact is, the Russia don't like West countries to contribute to Ukraine.
This actually, yeah. I mean, I've been to Latvia, another former Soviet country, and a few years ago, and I remember that there was this, in a way, there was this anti-Russian sentiment and feeling by some people, but not in general. I remember speaking with some actually Russian fellas there, and they were saying that I mean, of course, they would prefer, to have ties with Russia, but they were not feeling anything against them. Just, a normal process of being a natural free country. So yeah, that could be probably. Um, I'm not saying the same, but similar to what is happening or what happened in Ukraine. What I would like to tell you is that of course, I know, and I think that we all know that Ukraine is not a perfect country. It's not, the hero of liberty and freedom for everyone. I think in the last few years, they, like for example, they chose to have just Ukrainian as the official language, even though many Russian speakers are there, even Ukrainian Russian speaker. The same president actually speaks Russian. So yeah, I mean they were not like having this interaction very well, at least with the former president Petro Poroshenko. But yeah, now I mean they were just following. I mean the election of this president of Volodymyr Zelensky had like 73% in the actual results. So the rhetoric about that what Putin said that region in Donbass were prevented from voting. I mean, I don't know what that could actually change with such a huge percentage of yeah voting shares. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the countries, how I know, like the Lithuania, Estonia, they actually don't like Russia because of the history about what happened in the Soviet Union. It was a terrible things actually that was happened. So mm, yeah, I don't know why Russia want to expand their territories because actually Russia is the number one in the world for the territory. I mean, it's a very big country, and I can say that all of the cities are very good and perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I really love Russia. I must say that I always loved Russia. I was always fascinated by Russia. But what maybe can be some, of course, as usual in wars, about economics, because if we have a look on the Donbass basin, we see there are a lot of minerals there. There are a lot of steel and carbon, coke, and so probably that because now they want to expand. Like Mariupol is a renowned city for stealing, not for stealing, for steel. Sorry, that didn't quite came out. But so steel factories and so on. But apart from that, I couldn't like say that Ukraine has this huge, like uh, petrol or gas or crude oil. I mean, Russia has really a lot more than what Ukraine has. So.
Exactly, yeah. It's kind of like useless because even now some politics and some people who do this analytics and forecasting in the politics, even they cannot understand what's happening. I mean, people have some theories like Putin want to do like the Soviet Union part 2 or something like this, but it's kind of like something strange, and it's real schizophrenia because for example, Kazakhstan, as an independent country, we have our own cultures, we have our own economics, and we have a plans. So how to go further and how to develop our country. So if someone will came and say, "Yo, you're gonna be the part of Russia again," we will just say no. Like
Yeah, I mean, I, I actually, yeah, I totally agree with you. And so, what about the world's reaction? Do you think what other countries did was appropriate, like USA or the European Union, even China? And you just said about Kazakhstan. So, what is Kazakhstan doing about that?
even if Russia is our partner and we have a friendship relationship that goes 3 years, our government say like, no, we will not help Russia in Ukraine because it stands against the human rights.
Mhm.
But yeah, I very support it because actually it's true, and I very like the world reaction because the people all over the world they started to go in the meetings for the Ukraine. They started to support the Ukraine, to share some money, to help I don't know, the regular people, because it was very unexpected. I mean, people knows that Russia wanted to start the war, but nobody was sure that they will, because it was the real madness. And when the bombs started to explode and when the Russian troops started to came to Ukraine and the people
Yeah.
started to hide, it was something unexpected. Nobody knows that somebody can do it in the 21st century. And I think the decision of the European leaders not to put their troops into Ukraine against the Russia, it's a good choice because anyways it will become a real third world war. Because
But
yeah.
don't you think that, that later I will tell you my opinion, especially regarding the sanctions, the heavy sanctions they said that are imposing on Russia. But like in 2014, Russia sent a lot of troops, but not they. Everybody knew that they were Russian troops, but officially they were not. Dressed with official Russian military equipment. So, I thought that some countries could do the same now in helping Ukraine instead of just, saying just heavy words. But also these sanctions, I don't really think I really like the support. What I really was heartbreaking for me was people protesting in Russia. That was really something, because even they faced arrests, and yeah, it's not really pleasant. I think being against Putin, in especially in this period, because we all know that when is wars are going on, repression in every country starts to be higher. And yeah, like in the United States against Soviet Union with McCarthy and so on. So it's happening in every country. But that was really heartbreaking for me to witness that people, normal people, as you said, even risking something, the actual something in with their own lives, being freedom, getting arrested. That was really heartbreaking. But yeah, about the rest, what do you think? Could we, as since we said that Russia is the aggressor here, could we do something more?
I don't know. I think sanctions gonna work, but after when the war will finish. I
Exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
so yeah. So economic, the Russia will just go down, and the economic of Kazakhstan too. So yeah, that's what I can say. But also, I want to notice that when the quarantine has started in the China and just gone to the world, everybody hated Asians. Everybody, because they thought that Chinese was making this all of this thing, and that's why they hated the whole nation
Mm.
because of that. And actually, what's happening in the same now, because Putin made mistake, but all people hate Russian nations. And I saw even in the meetings when the Russian people they just was apologizing for being Russian, apologizing for Putin, for everything that happened.
Yeah, that's quite sad. I had rumors and news today. In Italy, there was a cultural association, we could say that, that in the past they like grouped every former Soviet Union countries, that people would go there and share views and meetings, eating together. It's really cool. In Rome, they say that people are randomly call them and say, "Oh yeah, we want to kill some Russians." And so this guy said, "We are Russian, we are Ukrainians, we are from I don't know other regions of former Soviet Union," and that was quite scary. And that is what is sadly happening every time a war breaks out. That people are getting like on the extreme with politics, and that is really sad. So I totally agree with you. About sanctions, I think that like I'm speaking for Italy and the European Union. I really liked what Johnson said about the Prime Minister of Great Britain. That said that they could help in many ways, economically, especially, then eventually even military. But yeah, this is an eventual. This is an option for now. I had news that just a few minutes ago, when we were about to have this call, that Erdogan closed the Black Sea to Russian warships, and that is just, I mean, from a few minutes ago. So that was quite something important. But at the same time, I mean, now Italy said okay to scrapping Russian from the SWIFT banking system, and
Yeah.
that would make something really, yeah, that you can, that would be something, at least more than wars, more than economics actions that, as you said, will have their effect later on, and not just stopping the tanks from the streets now. But Italy would need, and also we, Germany, we sadly are heavily reliant on Russian gas, and so we will need to stop paying Russia and importing actually gas, because if you are always saying these big words, but then you are still buying the main export from Russia, then it's a bit hypocrite, this stuff, in my own opinion. So we could at least close this import. That would be important. Then see what happens next. But yeah, that would be the least. I mean, we excluded Russia from the Eurovision contest, but I don't think
Yeah, I
that
see
is
that. That
something.
was.
I mean, really, Putin would be like, oh, I cannot win anymore now. Yeah, that was ridiculous, to be honest. But yeah, so I see that you share your government. I mean, if we are, in my opinion, then I will just yield to you. If we like agree that lives, okay, are more important than commodities, as in this case, as the Western leaders said, okay, then we should do something more, like, closing gas. We will be suffering maybe something, but it's a commodity. I mean, here it's almost spring, so it's not even winter that you need massive amounts of gas. And we should, add something into the spot. And if that is money or gas reserves, yeah, probably we should do that.
Yeah, so I agree with your opinion, but actually there is a people who don't want to war in the Russia. Actually, like the civils in the Russia, they will suffer a lot because of the Putin. Because yeah, Russia have a lot of people, and actually because of the Russia is our partner, so Kazakhstan will suffer too because our tenge is very connected to ruble.
Oh yeah,
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 so
yeah.
probably when everything will work after the war, I think if Russia will suffer the most, the Kazakhstan will suffer the second. Because, yeah, for example, in 2014,
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I can see that there are some troubles with the connection, but I can hear you perfectly. So, yeah.
okay, super. So I say that in the 2014, when the occasion with Ukraine has started, so the Russia economic was also down, but it started to grow after a few months because of the economic politics and the
Hmm.
support the other countries. So so maybe it's something that will happen again. I mean, even if sanctions will work after a war, maybe after some months, the Russia economic will get stable because yeah.
Yeah, and also my fear is that people will like forget, because time usually makes you forget about, yeah, yeah, sanctions, but yeah, we need our commodities, and so yeah, maybe we should start a little again, and then build up, and finishing up that the sanctions will be upheld and no more. So yeah, that would be my fear, because when a war breaks out, is on the news everywhere, and after a week it starts to be the second news, and then the third news, and then yeah, it's normal to have a war in Ukraine. That would be my fear, and I would do all I can to prevent that.
Yes, I think it's the effect of the eastern countries like the Iran, Syria, because they have a war for a lot of years. I
Mm.
mean, more than 10 years, and nobody even talking about that.
Yeah,
Everyone is like,
exactly.
yeah, okay, it's war. Like, it's always happened.
Exactly. Yeah, that's normal. I think there is also some point of racism in saying that, well, they are Arabs, they always fight, and because come on, we we must acknowledge that. But since it's in Europe, I hope that this is not happening. Sorry, this is not going to happen. That is really sad what I just said. I know, but we must be real and admit that sometimes I mean, with wars that happens in Africa, many times we are just not interested. So yeah, I know. Yeah, the connection is not really brilliant, but is my fault. I know because I can hear you and see you perfectly. So sorry if I'm fading away. So I would like to coming to a close, asking you what do you think is about to come next? I mean, the first day that we saw that Russian forces showed off their strength. Now it seems that Ukraine is putting up some resistance, even though forces displayed are really uneven. But as we saw, probably sanctions are growing. Turkey closed the Dardanelles Strait and the Black Sea. So, what do you think is about to come next?
Oh, I can't see you. I mean, I can hear you, but I can't see you. It's like the loss of connection.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm sorry. I see my camera going on and off on the light, but yeah,
Now I
I
see you. Now it's perfect.
yeah, I think it's just my laptop that doesn't like talking about Russia, probably.
Okay. So, what I can say, if we would do analytics of the countries where war is a permanent, and nobody even talking about that, about like Africa or the Middle East, we can notice that there is a places that full of resources. I mean,
Mm.
and it is a big game, and everybody wants these resources, but nobody wants to talk with the people who own this place. So that's why the war happening there. And if we can see the Ukraine, they don't have such resources to start the war. Actually, how you said before. So
Yeah.
it's actually about the territory issue, and it's about um, which side Ukraine will choose, like to stay with the Russia or to go with the European countries. We can say that European leaders started to do their sanctions against Russia, like the real big one. And but actually, I have seen the news that the Netherlands they put their forces to Ukraine to help them fight against Russia.
See, I didn't know that. I mean, yeah, these days we could witness that the situation is changing really rapidly. So yeah, this video would be old in like 2 hours probably. But yeah, yeah, we need to meet again probably soon because yeah, it's becoming stuff is becoming old like after 1 hour, then you are always there checking facts and yeah. But yeah, I share your point of view. I think if the Russian would be able to capture Ukraine, then of course the side would go with Russian ties. Otherwise, I don't think there is any if there are no peace talks now, like ceasefire and peace talks, that could happen that Ukraine stays neutral. Otherwise, in either case, I would say in scenario Ukraine will go with Russia, and the second scenario would be that Ukraine is able to fight off the aggressor and will, of course, go with the west side of, because that at that point being neutral would be pointless. I mean,
Yeah,
what do you think?
exactly. Uh, yeah, I totally agree with you, but I think Ukraine uh, will be stand till the last death. How
Mm,
it will be, even if it sounds sad, it's it because I see the Ukraine news, I see the interview of the Ukrainians who are living there now, and they are really ready because even the people who are not working in the military forces,
mm,
they take the weapons from the government to, to protect their houses, to protect their country.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and it's something powerful actually what's happening now. I think yeah, maybe Ukraine will be the part probably yeah, the Ukraine gonna be the part of European Union and we should see what's happening. I mean, in the Second World War, I think people didn't have internet and didn't have social media, so
yeah,
just to reach the some news, it took like 1 week or 2 weeks or something. But now the everything changed in 1 second, in the 1 minute we receive a new information, so that's why it's
yeah.
going. I hope that the war in Ukraine will last until like 1 week maybe, or will finish in several days because nobody wanted.
Yeah, nobody wants it, really. I mean, not even, I think, Russian that could have access to the world news. I mean, because nobody expected in such a proportion. Because I mean, people who were, talking about this like 1 week, 2 weeks ago would think about an aggression maybe in the Donbas basin region, but not just straight away to Kiev and to the capital and to major cities. I mean, that was really, I mean, at least for me, for average people like me, it was totally unexpected. I mean, I thought that maybe an aggression, like happened in South Ossetia or in Abkhazia in Georgia in 2008, annexing small portions, reaching resources, but not a full-scale invasion. That was really heartbroken for me, and I was in shock when I woke up with this news. So
Yeah, actually, me too. And now everybody think that Putin is like a second Hitler. Yeah, because and they say that they're doing like the genocide. It's something like the fascism, something very similar. And yeah, so I should notice that most of the soldiers of the Russia is not the soldiers that have an effect can have an effect. It's basically the very young boys, like 90
mm,
or 20 years old, and they probably want to go home. They didn't know that they go into Ukraine because their generals, I don't know how to say, marshals,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah, they first say to them that they will learn something about the city, about the country, but they didn't know that it's gonna be the Ukraine.
Ah,
And when
okay.
they,
I
yeah, and
didn't.
when they come to Ukraine, their marshals or leaders, they say to them like, "There's the weapons. You should protect these places." And they even didn't know where they are. I mean, they know that that they are in Ukraine, but they didn't want to war.
Okay, I see now. Yeah, so it was unexpected also for most of the soldiers. I mean, yeah, that's impressive as well. I didn't know that, so thank you for reporting this. Let's see what is gonna happen. Let's see tonight, because usually they are attacking at night. But I really think that if they are not capturing the capital in the next days, then it would develop in a kind of guerrilla affair, and so that could be really, really, really long, in both cases. That could be long for the civilian and for the Russian army to defend themselves, and on the other case, on the other side, sorry, for the Russian to catch the actual government. is
Yeah, and actually, I have some news that President Vladimir Putin, he asked the president of the Chechnya,
Chechnya,
yeah,
yeah,
Ramzan Kadyrov, yeah, he asked him about the soldiers for the Ukraine.
really.
Yeah, really, because I think the Russian soldiers, they are not fighting, because I have seen some videos that the Russian soldiers, they just came to Ukraine civil to Ukraine people, just like, we don't want to war, we just want to go home, please, we want to peace. Yeah,
I never heard that. Thank you for sharing.
I will send you some videos about it.
Yeah. Please, please. I would be delighted to see them. Really. So thank you, Madina. Was really nice talking with you. I hope to hear from you soon, and that this will end in a. I cannot understand how positively, but yeah, it will end soon, and we'll have peace because that is not is an no is a lose-lose is a lose-lose situation for me. So in any case,
I actually wish that it will be our last podcast about the war, and the next podcast will be about the reconstruction of Ukraine or something like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be real. That won't be, but yeah, if we keep talking, maybe. Okay. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you are having a great evening, great night.
Thank you
So
for
thank you.
inviting.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.